Welcome to the Mindfulness Meditation Podcast presented by the Rubin Museum of Himalayan Art, a global museum dedicated to bringing greater awareness and understanding of Himalayan art to people around the world. I'm your host, Tashi Chodron. Every Thursday, we offer a meditation session at New York Insight Meditation Center that draws inspiration from an artwork from the Rubin's collection and is led by a prominent meditation teacher. This podcast is a recording of our weekly in-person practice. The description of each episode includes information about the theme for that week's session and an image of the related artwork. Our Mindfulness Meditation Podcast is presented in partnership with Sharon Salzberg and teachers from the New York Insight Meditation Center, the Interdependence Project, and Parabola Magazine, and supported by the Frederick P. Lenz Foundation for American Buddhism. And now, please enjoy your practice. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, and Tashi Delek. Welcome to the Rubin Museum of Himalayan Art's Mindfulness Meditation Program at New York Insight Meditation Center. I am Tashi Chodron, Himalayan Programs and Communities Ambassador, and I'm delighted to be your host today. Happy Juneteenth! The Rubin is a global museum dedicated to presenting Himalayan art and its insights, and we're so glad to have all of you join us both in person and online for our weekly program where we combine art and meditation. Inspired by our collection, we will first take a deep look at work of art we have chosen for today. We will then hear a brief talk from our teacher, Kimberly Brown, and then we will have a short set, 15 to 20 minutes, for the meditation guided by her. Let's take a look at today's theme and artwork. The artwork for today's session is this beautiful Thangka painting of the Wheel of Life. This is dated early 20th century, origin from Tibet, mineral pigments on cloth. This is about 65 into 40 into 1¼ inches, and a beautiful painting, a mineral pigment on cloth scroll painting known as Thangka in Tibetan word. Connection to the theme is the month of June is the theme of awaken. The month of June also in the Tibetan calendar, it is Sakadawa, the month where Buddha achieved enlightenment, and therefore we selected the awaken for this month's theme. This painting of Wheel of Life depicts the concept of cyclical existence. Awakening through enlightenment breaks the cycle, leading to liberation from the suffering and to a higher state of consciousness. The Wheel of Life is also known as Bhavana Chakra in Sanskrit, or in Tibetan, it's called Sipekolo. It's a visual teaching aid and meditation tool symbolically representing samsara, known as korwa in Tibetan word. It is found on the walls of Tibetan Buddhist temples and monasteries in the Indo-Tibetan region or all over the Himalayas especially, to help both Buddhists and non-Buddhists understand the core Buddhist teachings. The Wheel of Life explains the concept of rebirth. The Lord of Death, Yama, this very fierce, wrathful looking with fangs coming out, holding the wheel driven by 3 animals in the center representing the mental poisons, often known as tuksum or 3 poisons, the 3 animals with attachment, anger, and ignorance. That is Docha Shedang Tigmu in Tibetan word. Attachment is the rooster, anger, snake, and the ignorance is pig, which is considered the root cause of all the suffering. The next circle from the center is people moving upward to a higher state of consciousness. And on one side, in the dark half circle, downward to afflicted states. Their actions polluted by the poisons propel them in a continuous cycle of rebirth in the 6 realms of existence depicted in the larger segments around the 2 inner circles. So these are the realms of gods and demigods, the top left, humans, top right. Those are often known as the 3 upper realms. And then the 3 lower realms are animals, lower left, hungry ghost, lower right, and the hell realm, the bottom. And in the hell realm, there are 8 cold hell realms and 8 hot hell realms. The wheel's outer rim is the symbolic chain of causality that binds this closed circle with no clear way out. Going beyond this large outer circle is awakening or liberation or enlightenment. The Buddha discerned a pathway out of the cycle of samsara. That is why the Buddha appears both outside the wheel at the upper right on top and within it, pointing the way out by teaching the Dharma. Now, let's bring on our teacher for today. Our teacher is Kimberly Brown. Kimberly is a meditation teacher and author. She leads classes and retreats that emphasize the power of compassion and kindness meditation to reconnect us to ourselves and others. She studies in both the Tibetan and Insight schools of Buddhism and is a certified mindfulness instructor. Her latest book, Happy Relationships 25 Buddhist Practices to Transform Your Connection with Your Partner, Family, and Friends, was released in February. You can learn more about Kimberly on her website, meditationwithheart.com. Kimberly, thank you so much for being here, and please help me in welcoming Kimberly Brown.
This month's theme is awaken, and it's a word that you'll hear a lot in the Buddhist tradition. It's often used synonymously with enlightenment, with realization, waking up, and what it means is it's pointing to the capacity that we all have to see our life clearly and wisely. And the word awaken also, it implicitly suggests that perhaps we're not awake. Perhaps we're sleeping or not paying attention. And it encourages us to open our eyes to reality and to stop denying the very nature of our life and everything. And one thing that it's hard to awaken to is the truth that everything changes and ends, and that we all have struggles and suffering, and that everything we say and do has consequences. Okay? Cause and effect are real. So all of these are truths of our lives, and yet, as long as we're asleep, in denial, or rejecting these facts, we cause ourselves a lot of suffering. It's painful to want the impermanent to be permanent. Yet, how many times have I or have you done that? Or trying to change what's not in our power to change. I've done that. It's so heartbreaking and frustrating. Another truth is that when we think we should always be young or healthy or even alive, that we really suffer. And all of this it stems from ignorance. That's what we're waking up from, our ignorance. It's at the root of all of our struggles. And the ignorance from that arises neediness, greed, aversion, hatred, fear, delusion. And when we're free from them, that's when we awaken. And we can, taste a sense of freedom, free from all of these obscurations. And in the Buddhist tradition, there are many techniques, including mindfulness practices and wisdom contemplations. So today we'll practice an insight meditation. Insight is the translation of the word vipassana meditation. And we're going to use it to help us realize this ever changing, constant flux and change in every moment. We'll use a little bit of loving kindness to help us soften this poignant reality of loss and endings and the joy of beginnings. So go ahead and close your eyes or allow your gaze to be down and soft. You can place a hand on your belly and a hand on your heart. Just letting yourself experience your breath, experience your own presence. And letting yourself recognize what is your intention for practicing this meditation today. You could be doing anything, but you're choosing to work with your heart and your mind and your wisdom. So allowing this intention to arise in your mind and your heart. When it's clear to you what's motivating you, what your intention is, go ahead and say it silently to yourself 3 times. With your hand on your heart and your belly, you can receive your breath. You might notice that you don't have to go out and get it or toil to breathe. Your body's doing this for you. And I'd like you to bring all your attention to sound. And what that means is bringing your attention to your ears. What you're doing is allowing yourself to experience these waves that are propagated through the air, their vibrations. And then when they enter your ear and the apparatus in there that's designed to interpret it, we call that sound and hearing. But you don't have to go out and get sound or sound waves. They come right to you. So you can allow yourself to receive them. And I'd like you to choose to bring all your attention here to sound. And for the next couple of minutes, resting your attention on sound, allowing it to come to you. And you might notice other sensations and experience and arisings. Everything arises, abides, and goes. And so resting in sound, if you get caught in a story and you're swept away from the present, come back to the sound. And you might notice your breath sometimes. You might notice it's cool on your skin. You might notice a fleeting image. And the practice is to allow it. Allow it to come, allow it to go. Don't get caught up in it. And always knowing you can rest in your anchor of sound. Even in these few minutes, you may have noticed, experienced sounds come and go. And even if you're sitting in a quiet, silent place, that silence changes. And this is an opportunity to awaken to the nature of impermanence and change. Just for one more minute, resting here in sound. You don't have to do much. You're allowing yourself to let go of plans and stories and just stay with your experience. And making a choice now to move your attention from sound and your ears to your heart center. You can place your hand there. I'd like you to connect with someone that you care about, someone who is suffering, maybe not from physical pain, but from resisting change, from refusing to wake up to the nature of things. Maybe imagine that person here with you and just saying to them, may you awaken and be free. May you awaken and be free. May you awaken and be free. And just for a couple of minutes, repeating this sentence to them silently as though you're giving a gift. May you awaken and be free. You can keep this person near to you in your heart and your mind as you imagine you're looking in the mirror. You could maybe remember yourself this morning, looking in the mirror at yourself, and say to yourself, may I awaken and be free. May I awaken and be free. May I awaken and be free. And just take 2 minutes here to repeat these phrases to yourself wholeheartedly, giving yourself this gift. May I awaken and be free. And now we'll include everyone using the Bodhisattva's wish, the saint's wish, that everyone be free from suffering, that everyone awaken to our true nature. So you might imagine your whole family and everyone you care about here with you. Imagine the people you don't like, people you disagree with. Imagine they're here too. All the strangers. Include me. Include everyone at the Rubin. May we awaken and be free. May we awaken and be free. May all beings be free from the causes of suffering. May we awaken to our true nature and have the conditions of happiness. And you can let go of these words, let go of any technique. Sense your feet, feel your breath. You might notice light entering your eyelids. You can thank yourself for your practice today. And when you're ready, open your eyes and stretch and move as we conclude today's meditation.
That concludes this week's practice. To support the Rubin and this meditation series, we invite you to become a friend of the Rubin at rubinmuseum.org/friends. If you are looking for more inspiring content, please check out our other podcast, Awaken, which uses art to explore the dynamic paths to enlightenment and what it means to wake up. Season 4, hosted by Isabella Rossellini, delves into the Buddhist concept of attachment and explores how the practice of letting go can transform our experience of the world. Available wherever you listen to podcasts. And to learn more about the Rubin Museum's work around the world, visit rubinmuseum.org. Thank you for listening. Have a mindful day.